Hey chain breakers, world changers, Jessica Manuel here for my 5th home-based video on breaking the chain. Today I'm going to talk to you about the chain of greed. The simple definition of greed today is an intense or selfish desire, especially for food, power, or wealth. When we weigh ourselves down with that intense and selfish desire, we do 3 things. Number 1, we push people away. Number 2, we fail to realize the actual beauty of what life has offered us, and we're never really satisfied with where we are, and we focus on our own agenda. And number 3, we grip on to the possessions, finding it harder to give them away to others. And there's nothing positive about that at all. Unfortunately, today, greed is everywhere. A lot of that comes from social media. There's an increasing desire to buy the right clothes, to eat the right food, whatever it is, to look the right way. We really have an increasing population of unsatisfied and envious consumers. We can all shackle ourselves up to those standards if we're not careful. We can look to certain possessions in order to fill that hunger of success. And it's all superficial success, and really a success that society paints for us and nothing else. So why do people chain themselves up to greed in the first place? Well, unfortunately, some people, we live in a world that some people have a sense of entitlement. Perhaps they've always gotten what they've wanted and they don't know any different. Lots of people don't like taking no for an answer and typically will find a way to get what they want. And others just like taking or don't know any better. And greed has also become more public knowledge, similar to drinking and driving, which is bad. Because it's become more public knowledge, it's become more socially acceptable. And I say acceptable. And we seem to forget that it still hurts people. We see marriages failing and families falling apart because of it. And we see that the same greed can make a country fall apart too, hurting so many people. So it is affecting many. In my life, I have realized that there was times when I could not provide certain things in my life, and having the desire for those things was actually a really selfish and unfulfilling way to live. I was not only disappointed if I couldn't attain those things, but I would take in order to receive them, because that was my way of surviving and feeling okay with where I was at. Truth is that when you go through life like that, you never learn anything, and you never really accept where you're at, or you're never really grateful for what you have. So, at one point, I felt like those actions were justified. And because of my circumstances, they were even more so. There was a time when I had to steal in order to eat. Again, it's not right. It's wrong. But at the time, it was justified because I was hungry. And accepting the reality that I was not going to eat great food, and that I would have to give up certain things in order to be where somebody else was really the hardest part. And maybe the even harder than that was actually accepting the reality that people were going to think what they wanted of me, and I had to get over that. But in the end, I was accountable to making certain choices, and delaying that gratification and being grateful for what I had was the start to breaking the chain of living a greedy life moving forward. So even though my reality wasn't easy to face at one point in my life, the worst is now over. And the most rewarding part about that process is that because I searched for certain things at points in my life, I can now have empathy for people that do search for those things, and I fill voids that some people would overlook, because I know how it feels, and I know that people need it, and I don't want the less fortunate to get into a position where they feel that taking is the only way to survive. So my mission in life, one of my missions in life, is to really eradicate poverty, which is, a far-fetched idea, but switching the perspective that perhaps if you could move people from poverty to possibility, those people would have an immense amount of ability and empathy for people, and would give abundantly, because they're grateful for everything that they have, which is where I am today. So that would be the key that I want to focus on today, which is giving. If we could all see that giving was a way of living, we would all understand that really helps our society as a whole. We would become less self-absorbed, and we would become more self-sufficient. And giving is not a task. Giving is a privilege, and it's a switch in perspective. When you're going into a room and you want to make an impact, surprise people. Give them an encouraging word or a smile or something that the world doesn't really offer enough of, and surprise them so much and make them feel so good that they in turn will do that for somebody else. You'll never see the full fruit of what you do by having that perspective. But the thing is you're going to feel good about it, and you're going to do the right thing. And that in turn will remove weight off of other people, and it causes a ripple effect that this world deserves. So that's your choice. I've made mine, and I hope this encouraged you. If it impacted you, or if you know of somebody that it may impact, please share it and subscribe to my channel. I will be back next weekend posting more chains and more keys to unlocking them. And, there's so many out there. And my hope is that we can just fix something that we might not yet acknowledge. So thanks for watching.